Welcome to the first episode of Biscuits and Blessings. I'm your host. I'm Memaw, and I'm coming to you from Eastern North Carolina with some down-home Southern cooking that's sweet on the soul and easy on the wallet. Now today, we're making a hearty Salisbury meatballs, gravy, and shell noodle supper. It's a one-pot wonder I whipped up using just what I had on hand to feed my family. But before we dive into the kitchen, let's start with a little spiritual nourishment. Our Bible verse today comes from 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 14, where the Lord speaks through the prophet Elijah to a widow in need. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. The jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day the Lord sends rain on the land. This ties into the beautiful story of the widow of Zarephath. In a time of drought and famine, this poor widow had only a handful of flour and a little bit of oil left, barely enough for one last meal for her and her son. But when Elijah asked her to share it with him first, trusting God's promise, she obeyed. And a miracle of miracles, her supplies never ran out. God multiplied what little she had to sustain them all. Friends, this reminds us that when we use what we've got with faith and gratitude, whether it's ingredients in our pantry or resources in our lives, the Lord can stretch it to bless our families as well as others. It's a powerful lesson in provision, contentment, and trusting God's abundance, even in lean times. So as we cook today, let's thank Him for turning our just enough into more than plenty. All right, let's get to the cooking. This meal is simple, comforting, and full of that Eastern North Carolina Southern flavor. So think tender meatballs in a creamy gravy hugging those pasta shells. It's perfect for busy weeknights when you're feeding a crowd on a budget. So here's what you'll need for the ingredients, all in good old USA measurements. Now for the meatballs, you're going to need 1 pound of ground beef, 1 egg, about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper to taste, onion powder, and garlic powder to taste. Probably want to start with a half a teaspoon each, unless you want a little bit more. About a half a cup of Italian breadcrumbs, just enough to help bind everything together. Now, for the pasta and gravy, you need 1 box, 16 ounces of your favorite pasta shells, 2 packets of ground gravy mix, 2 packets of brown gravy mix, like the kind from the envelopes, 2 cups of cold water, 1 large can or 10.5 ounces of cream of mushroom soup. First things first, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. In a large bowl, add your 1 pound of ground beef. Crack in that 1 egg, splash in the Worcestershire sauce, and sprinkle on the salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Then mix in those Italian breadcrumbs until everything comes together nice and even. Don't overmix, y'all. We want tender meatballs. Now, with your clean hands, roll the mixture into about 2-inch round meatballs. I got around 12 to 15 from this batch. You want to place them on a foil-lined baking sheet that's been lightly greased with some oil or cooking spray. Then pop them in the oven and bake them for 20 to 25 minutes or until they're cooked through and nicely browned on the outside. You'll smell that savory goodness filling up your kitchen. While the meatballs are baking, bring a large pot of salted water to a boil and cook your box of pasta shells according to the package directions. Use about 8 to 10 minutes until al dente. Drain them well and put them right back in the pot to keep warm. Next, for the gravy, in a saucepan, whisk together those 2 packets of gravy mix with 2 cups of cold water. Bring it to a simmer over medium heat, stirring constantly until it thickens up. That'll take around 5 minutes. Once it's nice and thick, stir in that large can of cream of mushroom soup until everything is smooth and creamy. Now, pour that luscious gravy right over the drained pasta shells in the pot. Give it a good stir to coat every noodle. When your meatballs are done baking, add them straight into the pot with the pasta and gravy. Mix it all together gently so the meatballs don't break apart, and let it warm through for a minute or 2 on low heat if needed. There you have it, a cozy, filling supper ready to serve. Plate it up with anything else you like or you have. Just dig in. This dish fed my family of 5 with leftovers to boot, all from pantry staples. So thanks for joining good old Memaw here on Biscuits and Blessings. Remember, just like the widow's story, God can bless what we have when we offer it up with a grateful heart. If you try this recipe, drop a comment below and let Memaw know how it turned out. Hit that subscribe button for more Southern recipes with a side of Scripture. God bless y'all, and I'll see you next time.